Hello there everyone and welcome back. It is time to go back to our roots a little bit, for I'm going to start looking into the original 6 factions that were introduced in Armada 1, and I think it's going to save us a little bit of time since I don't really need to go over a lot of these skills since we kind of already know them. Especially if you played Armada 1, you kind of got a good sense of what to expect here. In the case of the Imperial Navy, it's pretty straightforward almost. Everything is kind of recognizable to an extent, it's just a matter how valuable they are as far as picking them for upgrades. So, aside for the unique stuff like the increased RAM, which is kind of interesting since it's the spurs already give them additional ramming, so technically, I don't know how it stacks, if it's just additive or multiplies, mind you, but you're essentially doing double what your health point is worth of ramming if your ship has spurs to begin with, so that has some real ramming potential there. I wonder if the orcs are jealous or not. I'm gonna have to ask them sometime when I do look at them at some point. Oh boy, it's gonna happen too. Otherwise, only unique thing as far as that is the short burn torpedoes, which we already know of, and Emperor's Tarot, which when I did my Adeptus Mechanicus video, I think I completely overlooked this skill. All 3 of the Imperial factions, the Navy, the Adeptus Astartes, and Mechanicus, all have access to the Emperor's Tarot, and it allows me to mark a target for almost as long as the duration. If I do a reload, I don't know if that brings down the cooldown or not to at least be below 90 seconds, since I think the cooldown is 2 minutes, so theoretically it is possible to permanently have vision of a target, which hell, with the Drukhari, if you can mark their battleship with that, they're kind of screwed with that thing, aren't they? They can never engage unless they're going to be taking constant fire at max range. But otherwise, let's have a look at the fleet I'm fielding. And it's been a conflict of interest to me, since I just didn't know if I want to go with the Grand Cruiser for my support carrier ship, or with 2 Defiances, and with the armor-piercing ammo that I'm taking here, I think it is a lot more valuable for me to take the Exorcist. Sure, its range is short range, mind you, but this firepower is basically the same as the Tyrants I'm going to be fielding. Sure, my long-range potential is not all that impressive, mind you, but again, I have armor-piercing rounds. Unlike the Adeptus Mechanicus, I kind of want to get aggressive. It's just a question of knowing when I can get aggressive, if I were to be so honest. Since it can be tricky, since if I burn too much of my combustion gauge, then my opponent could just boost out of the way, and then I'm out in the middle of nowhere and not even defending my points if I do it poorly. So even though this faction is very well rounded, this fleet is very well rounded, knowing how to get the most out of it in each of the matchup is going to be pretty damn important. And to be honest, I haven't really played that many 1v1s in preparation for this. I've had other videos that I've been trying to get prepared for, especially more tutorial and like going over the mechanics of the games. I think that took up a little bit of my time, but I think we're doing good. All my matches have been wins, the 1v1s I did do, so I'm feeling comfortable. It's just how to best optimize my strategy when facing off against the newer factions. That I could not tell you just yet. But there's only one way to find out, so let's get started. Alright, so right off the bat we're going to be fighting up against Necrons, and honestly, if I can get on top of the Necrons with my armor-piercing rounds, I should murder their capital ships in a hurry. The trick is actually being able to do that, for I need to kind of somehow force them to use their inertialist drive, and ideally not be so far away from the points that the Jackals or any frigates they might have could backstab and grab the points. So I do need to be mindful there, for Necrons, with their ability to never miss, are going to slowly whittle me down, especially with their what is it, their Lancets, the particle whip I believe it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they can ignore my shields, and that's going to be really well felt if this drags out. So getting aggressive, hell, I may want to get super aggressive, since this is like the perfect area I want to grab. As far as like fortifying my position, I kind of want these 3 points as opposed to these 3 points here. It's a little more clumped together and it works to my advantage, so the layout of the map, I want to argue, encourages me to get in their face. And also, you're not my Falcon. We got the wrong frigate on the wrong point. I want you in front. And at least with the rest of my fleet. So, now where was I? Well, I already said this incentivizes me to get aggressive, and I like the opportunities presented me here. Again, it's a question on how aggressive I should be, since I'm pretty certain my ships can handle dealing with the Star Pulse generator, but again, it remains to be seen what we're up against. And actually, let me see. Let's see, reload. I don't think reload works with the bombers, but I'm going to try it anyway. I think it does not work as I'm thinking it will. And this looks like, if I had to read this properly, this is 3 battle cruisers. If I'm guessing. And then, I don't know how many frigates they would have hiding, if I were to be so honest. Oh, and I thought I told you to silent run. You were clearly not silent run. And I don't have a mission disappear, so boosting aggressively is probably mistaken. Hell, I could have been paying attention to the minimap, since there are very brief windows when my opponent is visible when he jumps with the frigates. So I gotta be mindful. If they're jackals, my torpedoes are gonna do a lot of damage to them there. It is only going to be 9 damage, mind you. And they're immune to fire assaults too, so I'm curious if I can intimidate them a little. I'm pretty certain that they are immune to fire assaults, Necrons. I would love to see this cause an overreaction. That's my theory. I think that's what I'm going to use the melted torpedoes for, if that is true or not. Actually, let me launch my fighters. No, it's still 60 seconds, so the reload didn't do crap. That's what it's looking like, at least. And I'm still wondering where the frigates are. And one is moving ahead of the others, so maybe it's not 3 battlecruisers, 2 tomb ships, and what would the third thing be? Okay, tomb ship and 2 cruisers, interesting. And he does have a frigate. Yeah. So, my bait didn't work. I would have loved to kind of force an overreaction there. But a lot of star pulses is what we're looking at here. And what's the other one? Oh, deck can't be... Can still do ores on decks. But so far, it looks like only a single frigate.
Understood.
I just don't know how the points line up off the top of my head. But that's fine. We'll grab this points, and I gotta be very careful about the star pulses. Hell, I think this warrants an opportunity to fire actual torpedoes this time. Just gotta make sure I don't hit myself. Like I'm almost gonna do here.
Acquiring new vector.
Well, that was inconvenient luck there, but... Let's see if this forces a reaction. Forces a response out of them. Oh, yeah, these are real torpedoes. For a moment I thought these were Meltas. Because I thought the visual coloration was different. Alright. And actually, let me put you in a different group. What I want to do is try and spread out my fleet. So that way, when Star Pulse Generate comes up like right now, this is going to be very damn painful. I'm sorry, fella, you fucked up. If I do this right. Okay, time for brace for impact. Just minimize the damage. And you're gonna jump. Yeah, you're jumping right now. Okay, torpedoes sadly did not do the damage they needed to, but those ones did. In best case situation, this is going to hit everything. Oh, AoE, so this is going to be a very quick match. I gotta kill these things quickly. And conveniently, I could boost out of the way to an extent. Since these don't have the best turning rate. Although there is a bit of a frame rate drop right there. If I kill this cruiser, that's a lot of firepower being lost, though. And hopefully, yeah, I'm out of reach with 2 of my cruisers. My Grand Cruiser is a bit screwed, but at the same time, it's kind of being ignored, isn't it? Moment of truth. I just need one more good salvo on this thing, and sadly, I'm not armor-piercing range anymore, am I? And I'm out of torpedoes here. Finish the cruiser off and do us some good. And ideally, protect my other ships. Since I think that's the strategy my opponent's utilizing, is trying to deal with the battleship. And morale is ebbing. Okay, I don't know if that did the damage you need to. But I am in a good position to hit this with torpedoes. Torpedoes need to do damage now. Ooh, I don't think that... I don't know if there's diminishing damage now that I think of it with Necrons, but... I need to get these torpedoes off. Actually, I could just engage on the tomb ship, I guess, with that said. The Retribution can help in this regard. It is a bit spread damage, mind you, but
Your command.
this is going to be tense. And I have Rally? No, I don't. Not for another 30 seconds. And I have no torpedoes. That repair was kind of pointless. I was really hoping
Ready.
to do a torpedo run there. It had a good window for it, but I still have 2 salvos left on you. Let's finish off our tomb ship.
Burn retros. Heading acknowledged.
And actually, the battleship is going to be in a perfect position here. Oh, you're still alive. Good God.
Loaded and set.
My Grand Cruiser has been completely ignored. I assumed that thing was dead this entire time. So this is like the best case situation. I am taking a lot of damage here, but if that flagship dies in a hurry, actually I could just get out of the way. It's just my battleship that's not going to have the convenience of getting out. I really want to blow that up, but I think it serves me better since I've been underestimating that Grand Cruiser. I won't lie. I've been neglecting that thing for death for this entirety of this match, so it could be the what turns it around.
Initiate emergency repair.
I just gotta do the damage needed to. I have no torpedoes left on you. 1 more salvo left. I think that kills our tomb ships.
Heading acknowledged.
Save. I think I'm gonna have to fire torpedoes sooner rather than later, or my battleship's gonna die.
Course engaged. Ship ready.
Armor-piercing rounds, don't do me wrong.
Underway.
I cannot... Can I board? I kind of overlooked it a little bit. Actually, I can ram. I have spurs, remember? And their armor's the same as mine.
We wait your command.
Wow, that is some weird physics there. That thing is like a bouncy ball. Kind of fun, but kind of not.
Setting course.
Now,
Understood.
this thing's about to die.
We serve.
No, this is bad timing. Oh, my light cruiser's...
Time, Captain. Course
Now,
engaged.
I still have weaponry.
Target.
I should have gave it more troops, because that would actually have been pretty useful here.
Ship ready.
And I actually got all 5 points, too, so I could actually still win this.
We wait your command. Changing course.
Yeah, if I had that out sooner, maybe it'd be good. Either way, this is still tenuously close, and
Understood.
I don't have armor-piercing... Well, I do have armor-piercing rounds. I'm just not going to be able to do the damage needed. So why not just focus on our frigate friend? Sadly, my melta torpedoes are not all that useful here. And is that a Jackal, or... Yeah, it is a Jackal, so it only has 200 health, I think. Or am I mixing this up? It has 400 health, never mind.
Acknowledged.
So I'm trying to remember what's the other one that has 400 health.
Course engaged. Ship ready.
Alright. I have armor-piercing rounds. Thanks for accommodating me there. I just gotta be mindful that as soon as that boards me, I basically lose this Grand Cruiser. Yeah, and there goes all my fighters, but again, I have armor-piercing rounds, and this thing has the same kind of potential. Well, this isn't over yet. You jumped in there, buddy. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. I'm really hoping. Actually,
We wait your command.
I have a brilliant idea.
Underway.
I've been overestimating or underestimating a lot of these ships. Oh, never mind. We win. We just gotta wait for it, but we win. I told you the Grand Cruiser's gonna win the day.
Orders.
Just not the way I was kind of expecting, was it now?
Ship ready.
I squandered its use tremendously there. And my opponent was... I don't know if my opponent got lucky with the star pulses. I wasn't really paying that much attention to how he was timing it. But I don't think I got the use I needed out of that, and the boarding assault ships probably would not have been all that useful either.
Course engaged.
But it's a victory nonetheless. It's a complete victory, just a costly one. If I had paid attention to that Grand Cruiser more and optimized it, its armor-piercing potential would have been useful.
Enemy sighted.
I did say it was kind of a conflict of interest whether to make those Defiance or go with the Exorcist, mind you. And I think the Exorcist just gave me the middle finger as a result of that. It was still a fun match. Maybe, again, I'm not quite sure of the nuances, if I should have gone aggressive ramming, especially with such aggressive play. It was possible. I was more concerned with trying to hit with torpedoes, and I got some damn good torpedo hits. Just a shame the melted torpedoes don't work. But I love the idea that it would force a panic out of my opponent, especially now that I realize the melted torpedoes and regular torpedoes don't have different visuals, kind of like they did before, I think, in Armada 1. I know different races have different colorations, at least, for the torpedo trails. So maybe I can fake them out. Imagine how amazing that would be to force or fake out inertialess drive with torpedoes that are useless in that battle. Alright, Tau. I've actually had a good amount of matches with the Tau, at least the Protector fleet when I was getting myself reacclimated with the Imperial Navy. So, if out of all the factions, I like to say I'm really comfortable with how to play against Tau. I just gotta be very mindful of a possible demiurge so I don't get super aggressive and fly right into their cutting beam. That would probably be the only rule for this matchup. Otherwise, I try and weather the secret missile storms, which, interestingly enough, before, during the early access beta, I'm pretty certain all the torpedoes did full 90 damage. Now they treat armor as 50 when they hit, which includes the secret missiles, so I'm able to take a lot of hits from their secret missiles. Ideally, I'd rather not take any, which is kind of what my what Exorcist is going to be for here. I just gotta be careful. Actually, I may want to hide this ship up forward with my Falcon and start shooting down secret missiles. Since, if my opponent's smart, he's likely going to try and have fighters distract us for my point defense. That's what I feel would be my opponent will do. Oh, and actually, you're in the wrong spot. Get back to where you're supposed to, you cursed thing. Thank you. Otherwise, my layout here for points does not look very promising, does it? I can only realistically secure 2 points if my opponent is going to try and play super stealthy, especially with a bunch of sauces with the railgun and solid running. So this is going to be tricky. Spraying out is going to be difficult to do. At least grabbing 3 points is going to be difficult to do. I could potentially sit right here and then have the range with lock on to be able to shoot anything, but I'm not going to hit very well. And where are my manners? What can I say? I'm a little bit distracted with my commentary. Nonetheless, I don't even want these ships to be right here. If anything, I should have 2 ships over here. There we go. This will make my control a little bit more easier, especially if I have to encounter a couple of Castellans up there at that midway point.
Changing course.
Although it helps if I group them properly.
Your orders?
So what are we looking at here? It's hard to say, because really, all the Tau ships have the exact same type of speed. So there's no way for me to know if they're deviating, unless it's like a demiurge. That's the exception. And if there is a demiurge, it would be behind over here.
Ship ready.
And I might as well launch fighters for good measure. Ideally, I'm launching them on the Grand Cruisers, since they have like an activation range of 8,000, 6,000 range. And I'd rather them be support by the point defense as opposed to encountering fighters without backup, essentially. So the further back, the better, maybe. Probably not as helpful against secret missiles, though, if I have to worry about them quickly. Otherwise, we'll have a beacon soon enough to see what's going on. I'm just concerned and wondering about what we might expect over here, if anything. If that's the case, then these 2 Cobras should be just fine. Hell, I inadvertently had my Falcon, which is my heavy frigate, paired with my Dauntless, so at least that should be pretty good. More point defense as opposed to Cobras, and more firepower to contribute. Oh, and I saw fighters. Custodian, that's what it's looking like. And I'm surprised my beacon isn't actually detecting these fighters. Not a big deal. There's no way in hell they're actual bombers, but I kind of would have expected that. I kind of expected a little more. Oh well, this calls for a reload once that's off cooldown in about 10 seconds time.
Your orders?
Do I go right? Probably not. I want to use these to deter fighters and especially secret missiles. Realistically, bombers and secret missiles, but again, if my opponent knows what they're doing... Ooh, and a war spear. So this does not look very fearsome. The war spear... I have not experienced the new war spear, though, so I should not at all underestimate that thing. With the 83 armor, that thing's going to be a pain to try and get rid of. And with the... Reload. Let's get that point defense going. I know I may have not neglected it before against with my Adeptus Mechanicus match, but in my justification, I deliberately didn't go with Brace for Impact because I felt like the extended range to kind of keep the Drukhari back was a little more valuable. Since it seemed like I was doing such a good job denying their assault crafts at the time with my not my light cruiser, again, I was caught flat-foot. But so long as I have 3 points, I don't have to do a damn thing. Let me just turn off their fire so they don't give away their position. The hotkey does work, you just have to select them again for it to actually see it highlighted.
Aye, Admiral.
Fury interceptors in flight.
I don't have my extended range due to lock-on, mind you, but I am gonna keep an eye out. I have 3 points basically, so just take my time here. Ion cannons are like the least intimidating weapon in the game. They're gonna slowly chip me down, but I'm more mindful.
We serve.
If my opponent doesn't pull anything, I might just lock on.
Engaging
Again,
engines.
I'm mindful of this thing, but with torpedoes, that thing should take a beating. And it seems silly seeing the Dauntless taking hits for crying out loud, but if anything, that allows my shields to recharge. Think about that for a moment. If my cruisers and battleship aren't taking hits, then I could just recharge the shields. I just gotta make sure my Dauntless and frigates stop getting hit. Alright, I think my opponent notices this charade that's going on here. Actually, I should start focusing target too. Sauce, I think, is the most firepower, at least railgun-wise, for the points. And never mind the fact it's the easiest to potentially kill. So I think I want to go after that. And actually, kill engines as well.
Changing course.
You,
Your orders?
lock on. I almost hit the reload by out of habit. But
We wait your command.
it didn't reveal my frigates at least, so I'm fine with that. At least my frigate's over here.
Ship ready.
So if I'm not able... I would love to just shoot down the frigates, but I think that's what these guys are for.
We serve.
And if possible, maybe get my Dauntless and all that there to contribute to the fight.
Ship ready.
Since 2 Wardens are not a big threat, I just need to somehow hit with these torpedoes, which is easier said than done.
Aye, Admiral.
Yeah, that's right, you better run. Couple more lances are a good measure. Actually, let me turn on focus fire. You never know when a fire resultant that's going to be useful here.
Changing course.
Probably not going to hit, but they're melted torpedoes. They're probably the least thing to concern myself with.
Engaging
My opponent just stopped launching fighters, so I wonder if I'm clear to just engage or not. Just gotta be mindful
We
of
serve.
torpedoes and all that.
Setting course.
Yeah, I did actually no damage to that thing, surprisingly. Well, I did try and go after the frigate, mind you, so that's a little bit of why that happened. Actually, keep firing at the Sauce.
underway.
That Kroot War Spear's not all that scary just yet. And I just revealed the frigates, didn't I? Or at least a frigate. And my opponent's ignoring the points right now.
Coordinates acknowledged.
I just gotta be ready for repair on this thing.
We wait your command.
I'm not gonna concern myself with bombers just yet. If I can hit with torpedoes, this would be great.
You have accumulated 25% of strategic points.
Oh, it hit, but only one.
Engaging engines.
I call that a win. It's a painful win, so I gotta make sure these frigates don't die on me needlessly.
Course engaged.
Especially now that my generator's gone.
Targeting enemy
Your deck's
vessel.
gone. I think we reposition. Let's...
Engaging
I'm
engines.
gonna have to repair.
Ship ready.
Auger Disruptor means crap there. Let's have these go after the frigates and cap points behind it, because that's kind of what my opponent's doing right now.
Burn retros.
Your orders. Damage teams begin repairs now.
How are we doing on Sauce? It's taking a bit of beating there. And now here comes our fighter squadron, so...
Aye, Admiral.
Here comes everything squadron.
Execute high energy turn.
Now, gotta be ready. I have repairs. What is their target?
Acknowledged.
It's looking like the Grand Cruiser, so couldn't ask for much better. Because the Seeker missiles are ahead of the Manta bombers, and there's actually no fighters to support these. My fighters are gonna get amazing value here.
Changing course.
Now, I gotta stop playing with my food and start launching some torpedoes, but again, This tyrant is getting all sorts of critical
Your
hits.
orders?
Sadly, its torpedoes are gone, but
Coordinates acknowledged.
these are melted torpedoes, so maybe that might have been a mistake, but
We wait your command.
The enemy
Let's see.
has seized a strategic.
it's boosting away though, so its firepower should not be able to contribute.
Initiate emergency repairs.
I'm hoping anyway.
Course
Actually, I think it's
engaged.
time to get closer with that thing actually running away. It's gonna ram its own sauce conveniently. That's
Engaging
mighty
engines.
generous of you. But I gotta, without, actually my overlord, my retribution cannot do that conveniently.
Aye, Admiral.
These two, okay, more bombers. I can happily deal with these. Again, I need my proper torpedo run at the ready. And I have no engines on 2 of my ships, so getting aggressive is very dangerous.
Underway.
Run, dodge the seeker missiles.
Course.
And where's my fighters? My fighters are busy dealing with everything. So nice, easy way to deal with these torpedoes and bombers, the best. I just gotta make sure this thing's getting some support fire.
Ship ready.
Because right now, with me flying towards them, I'm actually doing no damage. So let's keep that in mind. My aggressive play is probably a bit blunted because of my...
Burn retros.
Oh, you ran out of boosters, but Manta bombers are gone, seeker missiles are gone. There's only 1 salvo left to be had here.
Changing course.
Actually, let's kill Sauce. It's all but dead and it has no shields right now. Well, I take that back. It has shields,
Your
but
orders?
I think my frigates can do that for me.
Acknowledged.
If my opponent does not see us coming.
Course engaged.
Nope.
Burn
My own
retros.
frigates are going to take these hits too.
Fury interceptors in flight.
Alright, get moving. Try and get closer. Ooh, this is a good opportunity to hit the protector.
We serve.
I was hoping that thing would die. It's not dead.
Emergency repairs. We wait your command.
Try and destroy the main firepower. And ideally, brace for impact? No. Can't brace.
Team, begin repairs now.
We wait your command.
And I do have torpedoes and I have stasis bombs at the ready.
Course engaged.
Come on.
We serve.
This Grand Cruiser is going to take a lot of flack, but I still need to kill that thing, don't I?
Underway. Coordinates acknowledged. Burn retros.
Okay, got some good hits here.
Possible, Admiral.
And we're in point blank range. Not that it matters too much just yet. I gotta kill these ships or it's not worth it.
Ship ready.
But surprisingly,
Retros.
my Grand Cruiser's still alive. Do I have rally? No, not in range though.
Heading
That's a bit of a problem. If it, oh, it's gonna turn towards me, so potentially
Admiral.
The enemy has
my
accumulated
ship
50% of
should be able to get in range if it doesn't die before then.
50% of strategic points.
There, we got brace for impact. Engines are gone.
Course.
Ships are mutinying. Just a little bit closer. Although, needless to say, my Grand Cruiser's not contributing very much here.
Engaging engines.
And I have no frigates left. Let's keep that in mind.
Course engaged. Underway.
Can I ram this thing to death?
Changing course.
Yeah, probably not. There is 1 frigate left, but he got all the points too.
Aye, Admiral.
I do still have mobility in this 1 tyrant at least. But missiles are not going to be very useful here.
Understood.
Ship ready.
The enemy has accumulated
Custodian's on the run there.
75% of strategic points.
I gotta grab points, but without my frigates, I can't do much here.
Acquiring new vector.
And hell, I think the fighters are just gonna fly after my torpedoes too.
Engaging engines.
Yeah, they're chasing after them, but they can't do crap there, so that's not terrible.
We wait your command.
I need...
Understood.
If I could kill this 1 frigate and go for a complete victory, why are you turning? I thought I told you to get moving, you cursed thing.
Execute high energy turn.
I know I want you to fire, ideally, but
Your orders.
your pathing's really weird right now.
Heading acknowledged.
Oh.
We
You...
serve.
What on earth is going on here?
Heading acknowledged.
I tell this thing to move, and it looks like it moves my other ship. Well, this is inconvenient.
Underway.
I don't know what to make of this crap,
Firing new vector.
because it's not helping me one bit
Setting course.
as far as actually doing damage.
Coordinates acknowledged.
Stop rebelling on me, damn it. What the heck is this?
Ship ready.
Okay, we managed to fix the issue. Not the way I would have wanted it, though, which is a bit of a letdown,
Damage teams, begin repairs now.
because I would love to have done a little more, but the Retribution, if I could kill everything, that's good. So make this thing derelict, ideally. I think this is the one thing that could screw me over right now. Oh, never mind, there's like 2 of them, so I don't think I can win this based for on letting my frigates die, ideally.
Changing course.
So I'm probably going to lose on the points front there, because I misused my frigates a little bit.
We serve. Setting course.
And losing those engines is kind of a pain too.
Changing course.
Although I never did set focus on my ships either, which probably would have helped me in that regard a little bit to kill their engines a little bit faster. Like right now is a perfect example.
Course engaged.
So, yeah, I mishandled that on probably not prioritizing the best end. I can't even destroy components on this ship as much as I want.
We wait your command.
Oh, well, this was still a good match. Let's see if we can finish this off by killing off our custodian quickly. I don't think that's possible, though, since I have no weapons left on my Retribution at this point.
Understood.
Oh, well, that was fun there. Probably played a little bit too passive again. Didn't really know what to expect from the War Spear. And my opponent was odd in that launched fighters the first time and did absolutely nothing afterwards. So I could have gotten away with letting my frigates just run off. Hell, they were doing fine. They were dealing with the enemy frigates relatively well. I just didn't commit to having them go actually steal points, mind you. I think I left them to die in the middle of the fight there, which was probably not what I want since I didn't really need that detection anymore. So, a few little oversights, if nothing else.